Oh man, well, it's almost here. Halloween 2021. Such a scary year. This has been such a scary time we live in. I'm still gonna be the doctor, because I'm here to help and fix things. But for the most part, I can't really help our horror genre. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what these production companies are thinking of when it comes to new concepts and trying to scare people. I understand that we're moving so much more toward like the demons and the poltergeists and the ghost stories and movies. We have Paranormal Next of Kin coming out. But like, come on, I need more like body horror. I need more like freaky stuff. I'm so excited for Antlers. Antlers is coming out this weekend. But, as of late, I'm just tired of all these horror and ghost stories. So I've put like 3 together that I've seen recently. One of them is actually older, but it's not really like a ghost movie, but it's just how, how vastly ghost stories and monster movies can vary, and I don't know, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. But hopefully you enjoy it. I'm just going to get funky with it and show you some stuff, and let's go ahead and go through these films. We'll get wibbly wobbly with it. Oh my God. I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say sometimes, so I gotta just figure out a way to portray what I want to say. But all I want to say is happy Halloween, because it's almost here. Halloween is almost here. So I put together this here costume of a man of funk who's going to discuss the funks in horror real quick today. But I just wanted to share with y'all this shirt and the one question: who has my pig? Your boy here entered this contest on Twitter a while back, and I won. I had to read this like haiku from Nick Cage, and this is the tweet from back in July by Neon, right? So post your video of reciting this haiku to win, and you recite this little haiku right here from Nicolas Cage himself, and I was like, all right, why not? A pig is my friend. Our past is long today, yes? I can go back now. And apparently I won. And I got a spoon. I got this, it's got a hole in it. But I got this spoon. I got this sick ass apron with pig design. And then I got this shirt from good old Neon. But so it's pretty cool. So I'm like a black Bob, Bob's Burgers and be nigga Bob. Yes, and me and my girl have in fact done nigga Bob and Linda in the past. It's been pretty dope. It's had its ups. What's up? Except I just put the wig on, so instead of actually having like the balding hair, it'll just be, Black Bob. So yeah, today I'm gonna go ahead and discuss 3 horror films. But one's a horror film, the second one's like a suspense film that's supposed to be like a horror film, and the third one is a new horror film. And they're just, none of them are good. I'm really excited for Antlers. I cannot wait for Antlers to come out this week, this weekend or whatever, and I'm definitely going to be seeing it. And, that is going to be cool. But I don't know, man. I'm just tired of demon movies. I'm tired of ghost stories. I'm tired of movies like that. We just got to bring back creatures. We got to reinvigorate the imagination and just get some new monsters out there. I'm tired of things we can't see. I want things we can actually see and touch and have chase us and look freaky and stuff. And, there's some out there. There's some pretty good body horror and films out there right now. So, you just got to look. But for the most part, most of the shit that's being shoved in our faces and said that it's the scariest movie of the year is not. It's just not. So one of the films I wanted to talk about was The Night House. And it just came out this weekend on DVD and Blu-ray. I saw it like a couple months back, right after I saw Malignant, actually, unfortunately. And, you can watch my review on that one. But I wanted to watch it because it was like, oh, this is like the scariest movie or whatever. There's nothing
see nothing. You're safe now. Safe from what?
So I was like, I gotta watch it. It looks cool. Like, fuck it. If it's a good ghost movie, hopefully it's a good ghost movie. But it was more along the lines of a poltergeist movie, but we'll get into that on why. But so the movie follows Rebecca Hall, and she's this, like, teacher, and right off the bat, well, you know, she's a teacher at a school, but right off the bat, it starts off with her being a widow because her husband just committed suicide. He, like, shot himself in the head. So it's all bad. And I'm gonna spoil this movie because the movie is just, it's really bad. But it's out now, so if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? But you should watch it anyway, because just maybe see if you can make sense of it. But pretty much, her husband's dead now, so she's just like super doom and gloom. Her whole persona is just, she's so sad. And when she was in an accident a couple years back, and she died in her, I forgot, she got in an accident with like some friends or something. She died, but she was brought back. And everyone asks her, like, you know, what happened after you died? Like, what happens when the curtains close? What happened? You know, like when she died, what happened? And she pretty much said nothing. Like, there was nothing. It was just blank. So she had such conviction in her knowing that the nothing was blank nothing, that wherever she went, she brought back like a ghost or a demon. So she went to like purgatory because she didn't go to heaven, she didn't go to hell, and they don't imply that she had a shitty life where she ended up going to hell and like escaped hell or like barely peeked into hell or something and brought back a demon. Nah, she just went to like purgatory or a nothing zone and then brought back something. So it's been attached to her apparently since she died. There's this demon attached to her. So she meets this guy and she gets married to this guy, and you know, she's got a husband now, so it's not determined if like they build their house before or after the demon makes contact with him. So whatever demon, poltergeist, ghost thing that it's attached to, that's attached to Rebecca Hall, like the main character, it then starts whispering into the husband's ear like, kill her, I need her soul. And the husband's like, what? Like, no, I can't do that, right? So he built this house for them, and they live on a lake. Subsequently, thank God, they live on a lake because he's able to build a house on the opposite side of the lake. And she doesn't know. I mean, he's able to build a whole house almost, even though it's not finished. But she does build a whole almost house on the other side of the lake. But I'm guessing that he finds a book, because they don't really explain much of it, you know, like they just don't. And I'm just kind of explaining it to you from memory, so you can rewatch it. But he pretty much goes to a library, finds a book about a totem that can like trap a demon, and he just assumes that this demon is this same type of demon. He makes the totem, puts it in the other house, and then lures women that look exactly like his wife to that house to have murdered. Like, what? 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 It was so bad. It was so bad. I mean, he kills like 10 women, which is why he commits suicide, because he just feels bad. He has all this grief that he killed all these women. But it's like, bro, after like the 4th woman, you should have been like, all right, you know what? Like any demon movie, like every ghost movie, ghosts and demons can't be tricked forever, because they're like, I can figure you out. And obviously, when he got the souls of all these women, he was like, something ain't right about these souls, but I'll be back next time. And he would just bring another chick. He killed like 10 women, like innocent girls that just so happened to kind of resemble his wife. It was jacked. It was so jacked. And she's like over here assuming he's cheating and all this stuff, and like, you know, finding out that he's been seeing all these girls, and she's wondering what's up, and like people are talking about it, that now that oh yeah, like I saw it or whatever, but like I didn't think it was anything. It's just like, what? So in her like having more belief in this nothing, and that, you know, she starts feeling the presence of a ghost in the house, and she assumes it's her husband because she misses her husband and she wants it to be her husband, so she just assumes it's her husband. So like any other ghost movie, when you start giving the ghost reason and you start acknowledging it, it just gets stronger, and eventually, you know, goes level 5 demon and just poltergeists out in your house, and that's exactly what happened. Except she literally almost made out with it and like damn near worked it, because she's in the bathroom. The best scene, she's in the bathroom, and then it like all this stuff's going on, and she's pretty much seeing it and all this stuff. Like I said, the cinematography is cool, and the way they show everything is cool. But she's in the bathroom with it, and then she like holds it, like she touches it, like in the cover of it, she's like touching it. And she's like, oh my God, you're Owen. Her name is Owen. You're Owen, like Owen Wilson, right? Owen. And she's holding it, Owen, and it's holding her. I feel it, Owen, the ghost, Owen. And then it's like, I'm not Owen. And it says that to her, and it's like, wow. Like, it's just, you know.
Wow. Right?
Yeah,
great,
amazing.
Let's get a shoe shine.
Like, it wasn't him the whole time. Would you look at that? And then at that point, like, she gave into it, so it like reveals itself in the form of her husband. And it's like, I made him kill himself. Like, he thought he could keep you safe. And it's like, you know what? He did a pretty good job, okay? But I mean, he's a shitty husband because he killed like 10 innocent women, but he did a pretty good job. All right, he kept her safe long enough, and he killed all these women for her. So I guess, like, in the end, he really did love her. You know, and so, you know, fuck you, demon. But at the same time, what? Like, what? Like, you're gonna do all this and reveal this whole big reveal to her, this big old exposition of like who I kind of am, and then she just kind of like overpowers it. Like, she's just like, nah, like, you are nothing. You're nothing. And it's like, well, I mean, he's something. So by saying he's nothing, you're saying he is. You know, and then she ends up going, she sits in like the same boat her husband was in, and she's like about to kill herself, and the demon's like, do it. And she's like, nah. And then while her school teacher friend runs up to the house, and she's like in the boat, and she's like, snap out of it. And she just like snaps out of it. Like, it's like a Malignant, where at the end, her sister is like, snap out of it, you can be strong too, kind of. And then she's like, oh yeah, you're me, I'm you, we're the same. So for her, she's like, you're nothing, but I'm gonna realize you really are nothing. And it's like, wait, then what the hell is nothing? It's not a good concept. It was just not a good concept. But so, I mean, you should watch it, The Night House. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll be like, you know what, maybe Craig was wrong and this movie is so good. But it's like, you know what, why? My question is, why did he kill all those women? Why did it take that many women for him to finally die, like to kill himself? Because he was a murderer. I don't care what you want to say. He could have loved her, and he could have like been there for her and really tried to save her soul. But he did kill 10 other women. Let's not forget that, okay? Can't forget that. He did kill other women. So it doesn't matter how great of a husband he was, doesn't matter how beautiful of an architect he was, to be able to make a house completely backwards, it just didn't work. It just didn't work for me. And that was supposed to be the scariest movie of the year. Are you serious? You serious, Hollywood? No. No. Just no. I have like this Lenny Kravitz vibe going on, I feel like, too. The Night House, dun, dun, it was so shitty, dun, dun. Oh, the Night House, dun, dun, it wasn't that creepy, dun, 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 mm-mm. Some ghost hanging around her door. She thought it was her husband from before, but it wasn't, dun, dun, dun. The Night House. Yeah, it was bad. But check it out, you know, it's out now. So, you know, you can watch it, stream it, and just, you know, little popcorn night, and just see what you think. See what you think. But I don't know, if you're going to make nothing out of nothing, Korn already did it. You know, the Nothing album is pretty cool, so, you know, I'm a fan of Korn, but like, it's not the best, but I ain't doing no record review on that shit. But, you know, I couldn't. But so that was movie number 1. All right, so movie number 2, film dos, Vivarium.
You creepy little mutant.
Vivarium came out in like 2019. All right, so this movie's like a bit old, but my homie had told me, hey bro, you should watch Vivarium. I saw it. It seemed interesting. It had Jesse Eisenberg, you know, like, just watch it. It seems interesting. I want you to tell me what you think about it, and like do, you know, you're doing like reviews and stuff. Do a review on it. And I was like, all right, you know, I'll watch it. I like Jesse Eisenberg. He's cool. And then Imogen Potts. I like Imogen Heap. So Imogen Potts, I'm guessing it's the same style of name. Imogen. But yeah, so Vivarium is a weird movie, man. So that's why I'm saying, like, people are taking all these risks, and they're doing all these risks in Hollywood and making all these crazy movies. But it's like, it's only a risk if it really, really works. I think it's a risk if it really, really works. If you're just trying new things. Just say that. We're trying something new. Don't say we're taking risks. Because then if it's not good, it's like, oh, they risked it. It's like, no, you don't risk it on a bad idea. Or you don't take a bad idea that isn't going to give any closure and say we're going to risk it. It's just like, no, you're just not going to do it. Or you're just going to, you're just going to make that the new way of doing it. Like, it's something new. It's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a risk. But I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But so Vivarium stars Jesse and Imogen, and they're little, like, young couple, you know, they're fiancés and stuff, and they're looking to get a house and start a family, I'm assuming. And they go, it just starts off with them at work, you know, and it's supposed to be a lot of scenic, like the art and the way it's filmed is supposed to be like, there's all these like different interpretations you can make from it, but I'm just going to go with just how the movie plays out. But they go to this real estate agency and they're like, we need to get a house. And the guy is just super weird, right? I mean, like, super weird. I mean, he's like, you know, you would be like, why would you go up to this guy and like continue to work? There's a billion other real estate places you could probably go to. Why settle at this one? You know, why not just be like, you know what? We're going to go next door. But he's just super creepy, and they're like, you know, we're looking for a place. And he's like, yeah, you should come with us to look out yonder. And yonder is so great, and the homes are going fast, and if you don't hurry, you're not going to be able to get the house. And it's like, he's very robotic, super weird. Like, it's like he's been training to talk to people, you know what I mean? So, and using facial expressions, like he's like downloaded them almost. Not that he's a machine, of course, but they're pretty much like, yeah, you know, we need a house. All right, let's go. Because that's the thing, like, they needed a house like right now. Like they couldn't just be like, you know what? No, let's just come back. This is just weird. But that's like, again, the imagery and the whole message of the film of like being in like a relationship that's not quite together, you know, like, and you know, not you're not going to see eye to eye on things. So one of you might be like, you know what? Let's humor them, you know, and usually humoring them doesn't always turn out as well as you would want it to, or as well as you would hope for it to. So he takes him to yonder, which is like this like, you know, nice community, and it's super weird, of course, right off the bat, because there's no one else there. All the houses look the same. It's like, all right, it's your basic weird old suburban area, but that's just what suburban areas are, you know. They're usually with a bunch of just similar houses, similar layouts, so nothing too out of the ordinary. And they get to the house, and he gets there before them, looks all weird, waiting for them, super weird. And he shows them the house, and yeah, they finally kind of feel like, you know what, this place is a little creepy. This place is a little weird. I don't think I like it. You know, they don't dig it. So they go to leave, and the guy disappears. Like, he's gone. His car's gone. They're like, what the heck? So they're like, all right, let's go ahead and leave. And they try to leave. And in them leaving, they end up getting like lost in the place. Like, in the whole community, they're like making turns. Like, that scene's pretty cool. Like, they're like bickering back and forth, and the time is changing. It's getting darker, and they're like, you know, driving back and forth. They keep passing the same house, the same house that they stopped at, number 9. Boom. 9 is where it's at. So they always stop by number 9. They're like, what the hell? Like, why do we keep stopping here? So it's like, you know, it's got its suspense, and you're like, what's going on? And it's really intriguing. It makes you like wonder what's going to happen, you know? And nothing really happens. They have to go back to the house. They end up getting a box. There's a baby in the box. Like, they get an Amazon Go, but they get like an Amazon Grow package, and it's a baby. And there's a note that's like, you can leave when the baby's born. So it's not really you can't really tell how long they've been there, but they've definitely probably been there like a year, you know, but they haven't like completely gone crazy. You got to watch the film to just see how it kind of plays out, but it's just weird. It's weird that it's very clear they find out that they're in like some fake reality because the clouds look fake. It's like a Truman Show, but like obvious Truman Show, you know? And so they have this kid, and the kid's like growing super fast, right? And he grows like in like a span of like, oh shit, I don't know, I say like 3-4 months maybe, he grows. And he's like, oh look, he's like a fucking toddler now, or he's a toddler now, or you know, he's 8 years old. Fuck, you know, he's almost damn near teen. And they're like, you know, how the hell is this kid growing? He's obviously an alien. You know, it's very like, it's got that nuanced feel of like where they're like, well, obviously something's wrong, but we can't escape and we don't know what it is. So it's like you can't. Like, you have just as many questions as the characters have, so it's like you're supposed to like relate to them, but it's like, you know, it's kind of hard to relate when you're like, you don't know what you're supposed, like, it's like, yeah, it's the whole suburb life, and like that's what a lot of people were saying, that it's supposed to be that fear of like normalcy in suburbia, of like, you know, you go to work, you go to sleep, you raise your kid, you go to work, you go to sleep, you raise your kid, and that's kind of what goes on in the movie. They're like working, trying to take care of this kid, where Jesse Eisenberg is kind of working at other things as well. But so the kid pretty much becomes like an adult, you know, and they're still trapped. You know, they try to leave and walk and get out, and they end up like same thing, getting like turned around, and then end up just walking back and then ending up at this house again, like at their house again. It's crazy. And so finally Jesse Eisenberg, you know, his character kind of suffers a shitty fate, and Imogen Potts or whatever, she finally finds out what the creature is, but you don't really find out because the creature fucking grabs the cement, he grabs the sidewalk and fucking lifts it up like it's a blanket and climbs underneath, and she like is able to like get underneath it and follow him. And there's like this whole multitude of realities of different people raising different alien children, and it's just like, what? Like, I mean, why? Like, I mean, I guess. I mean, it looked cool, but it was like, what? Like, different variations of the alien kid learning from its parents, who were trapped and just living their lives, all like, some were going crazy, some killed each other, some were like having mad sex in front of the kid. Like, it was crazy. Like, you know, like all of them treated their child obviously different, and they all had different experiences. So it's super weird. It's just so weird. And then of course, like, that kid grows up to be the next weird real estate agent who sells the next random house to the next the next couple that walks in, and is like, again, like, they're obviously like, it shows them walk in and they separate. So it's like, okay, like, it's like obviously like that whole aspect of like being divided on things, and, you know, having to live co-live, and sometimes we don't see eye to eye, and that could lead to like our downfall and like the fears we have of sticking with someone for the rest of our lives. Like, that's just how it is, you know. So I mean, the concept was, I guess, better than The Night House for sure. But at the same time, there was too much of a veil. You know, there was too much of a shadow around what exactly was going on. Was it a mothership? What was that reality? Was it like some type of bubble reality that just, like, how do they get to it? How do they not realize that they're like, hey, we're like, they show that they're driving kind of far. So it's like, how do they go so far to be like, hey, we're not even in the town anymore? You know, or like, how do they enter, like, and be like, hey, did you not feel something, or did you not see like a shift in atmosphere or something? Like, how do they enter this community, this suburban community, without realizing they entered in some type of alien like force field area? You know, like, how is that area just sitting there? Is there like Independence Day or something where it's actually a ship floating above, and like, you know, they just, once they walk in, it's like, that's it, like, they're technically knocked out and they're like beamed into the ship? Like, you never know. But there's so much left unanswered that it's like, it's just not fair. It really isn't fair. But it's a very good, it's a fun film, I would say. It was definitely way more fun than The Night House, and it came out a year before. You know, almost 2 years earlier it came out. And, you know, it's more intriguing than the movie that just came out that's supposed to be redefining horror films or whatever. And, you know, I don't know. So, yeah, Vivarium, it was fun. But I just didn't. I couldn't. I don't know what really was supposed to be going down. I don't know what the end goal of these creatures was. I guess just to use humanity to grow. I guess, and eventually take over the world with their Play-Doh world. Like, it was crazy when he lifted up the sidewalk though. That shit was pretty whack. I was like, what? Like, you know something's gonna happen, and you want something to happen, but nothing happens. You know, it's just. It's crazy. It's super weird. It's super, super weird. You should watch it. Vivarium. Check it out. So now we'll go on to finally the third film, which I just decided to watch this past weekend, actually. It's just so... Okay, so the film is called No One Gets Out Alive. And it was so... This movie.
It's tough out there.
Yeah. So much better in here.
That's ridiculous. It was very ridiculous. And now I know that there's like tons of movies on Netflix and tons of movies on Hulu, and there's so many movies on every platform. It's just like, all right, why not, you know? So I just find it funny that, you know, every once in a while you watch a movie that's like, oh, is that what it's supposed to be about? I didn't realize that. There's hundreds of movies on Netflix, right? So this was on Netflix, No One Gets Out Alive, and apparently it's based on real life horror. The real life horror aspect that illegal immigrants are exploited, you know, in horror movies and like through horror means, which is like, I was like, what? Like, so after watching the movie, I read that, right? So I'm just gonna, again, I'm spoiling stuff because you could just go watch it. It's not like they're not making money, but it's about this illegal immigrant, yes, and her mom is like in Mexico or whatever, and she's like sick, and she like dips because, you know, she's trying to live a better life in the United States, and she has to stay in this like boarding house, and it just so happens that the boarding house, you know, where people can go to, you know, that have nowhere else to go. Like, obviously she's undocumented. She like lied about her birth certificate or whatever to like get in. A bunch of shit, like, you know, illegal immigrant stuff. You'd have to watch the film to be like, oh, okay. But she stays at this boarding house, and it just so happens that the guys that live at this boarding house, right, of all the boarding houses, the guys that live at this boarding house have like a demon, some ancient demon in a box that grants like immortality. And as the movie progresses, I'm assuming the demon like like when you're in the house and close to the demon, it feeds off of your nightmare and fear, and her fear, nightmare fear is remembering her mom, and her mom wanting her to come back and help her. Oh, I think, or maybe she went to the States to like make money and stuff. I forget. It was so just like, but she comes to the States to like maybe get money and make money to help her mom. But she still like leaves her mom behind. And so she starts seeing like visions of her mom, and that's like her fear and her nightmare, because she she left her mom. And these brothers that own the boarding house, like, apparently they just sacrifice chicks every once in a while to this demon that lives in this box. And, you know, it gives the one brother immortality, and he's like kind of like he's kind of like not all there. He's kind of like a couple screws loose, and he's like, oh, I'm getting stronger, and he's like gets all veiny, and like he gets like a cut in his wrist and he gets it like heals up and shit, and like the other brother's like kind of like a good guy but like also like a bad guy because he's like, I'm gonna help him, he's sick, you know, and this is gonna make him better. I don't know what that box is about, and like he never like watched whatever went down there. He just knew that, you know, he just was like, it's my brother. Like, it's so like, bro, like this is such a C movie. This is such a C movie. But at the end, when they reveal what the creature is, like the creature crawls out of the box and like it's all crazy because it's a small box, but it's got like, it's like the infinity box, and you go in and it's like a long ass tunnel, but it's like a small box, but it's like a long ass tunnel. So the creature's crawling out of the tunnel, and that's like this super big worm thing with hands and like long arms and like two faces or some shit. And yeah, it just eats heads. It just decapitates people, and that's just how it gets strong. And like, I don't know, it was kind of cool. It was weird, but it was kind of cool. You know, the creature layout. I wish it did more. It did look very CGI. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm tired of all these ghost movies and like things you can't see. I'd rather see something. So it was cool to actually see the creature, but at the same time, it was like, well, you know, it's not like that scary. It was just kind of like, whoa. Like, I wish it like freaked out, or I was waiting for it to like do like a scream or something, and it just kind of didn't. It just kind of stood there, and I was like, well, all right. And then the ending, I guess it's implied like, oh, well, like she's still undocumented, she's still an illegal alien, so she could either A, leave and hope no one finds out about all the dead people that are here, or B, stay and like take care of the demon herself, I guess. Like, it was weird. It was so weird, but check it out. You know, no one gets out alive. No one ever gets out alive. But check it out, and you know, I will give the directors some slack because apparently those guys are the ones that did The Ritual, and The Ritual was pretty cool. It had the same, like, you know, dealing with otherworldly creatures or like, you know, supernatural creatures. But I like that. You know, I like that at least it's something new. That's why I say it's not like necessarily risk taking. They're literally doing something new with this one. You know, they're like, oh, you know, we're doing it through the perspective of an immigrant. So like the horror and the fear is also on her because she is like in fear of being deported or whatever. So it's like there's like the horror that she's in of being trapped in that boarding house, but it's like, also, girl, there's nowhere else you can go. So, you know, I don't know, I give it, I definitely appreciated it more than I did The Night House, and it was definitely, I guess I would probably watch Vivarium. Maybe I'd probably watch this No One Gets Out Alive, because Vivarium was cool, but it's like it left too much open to interpretation that it was like I didn't know what was going on. So if I watch it again, it's only gonna make me as upset because I'll be like, what the hell's going on, you know? But I don't know. Yeah, so that's about all I got. Just those 3 films. You know, Antlers is coming out, so definitely gonna watch that and review that because it's gonna be awesome. Other than that, I mean, happy Halloween, everybody, and I hope you guys have a good time. Like I said, go out trick-or-treating, and, you know, hopefully got some parties with some stuff to go to, you know, I don't know, whatever you got going on. This hat used to fit me once upon a time, but it don't fit me anymore. It's more of a prop, but to the new world, everybody, to the new world. Whether it sucks or it's enlightening, we got to go that way. So the Creative Lawrence Experience, thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.